tournament team who came out on top in the match against the Pyrenees in the semi. The Samurai, very comfortable winners over the Irish Vikings. This, though, could be a far closer competition, and the French development side, and already the French development side in front of the kicker, so we're back there for a restart from the halfway line. And but Samurai, who really would have been expected to be competing in the cup final, but have missed out on that, and they will be hot favourites on this one, surely. Picked up in the midfield by George Graham, who scored the first try in the semi against the Irish Vikings. And there's George Graham, who was a pivotal figure in that, and is driven forward on the ground. Luke Crocker doing lots of the forward work, lifted tackle there, but out to the wide there. We've yet to see the pace there of Omari Caro. The suggestion was he was full of pace. He's a rugby league player, but an absolute speedster. Yet we have yet to see him really getting loose on this particular tournament, and it would be very good to see him on a run-off against any of the Frenchmen. But it's a scrum for the French development side. Julien Zobade, who has been a very, very active 9. Stable scrum, the French scrum's been good. Zobade takes a little dart, gets through a couple of little holes there. The support's good, the recycling's good, and there's Amari. And he's pulled to ground, and the French making some ground here. Good defense of that ruck, protecting the 9. Now, this is Perrault, who is a fantastic runner, created the first try by almost running around the opposition, and, well, some silliness going on there between James Redden for no reason at all. But Perrin, not really any opportunity to get round there, ran right out of field. And down in the bottom right-hand corner, the UBB Gavical are about to receive, or are waiting to receive their ball win and get the medals, and that will be handed out fairly soon. We might get some camera footage of that. For the now, it is 2.5 minutes into this plate final, and we've yet to see either side really open the game up so far, Evans. I mean, you've seen these two teams over the course of the day. You'd probably have favoured Samurai in this, but the French have got a solid scrum, and they've been fairly committed in defence.
They have. It's all a bit scrappy early on. I think both sides are trying to feel out each other and just trying to work out where they're going. The only thing I will say against Samurai is I think they only played maybe an hour or two ago. So
a good strong run by Johan Hammer, and it does look as if the French scrum is marginally stronger, and there's a good powerful run over the side there, and picked up by Fideni, and again inside drive by Hamrier, and out Leo Girard. Nice little kick in behind there, and it's going to be for Amri to put pressure on Omar Caro. This is the speedster, but he's been pulled down and robbed of this one. His pocket has been pinched. It should be a penalty here for holding on, and indeed it's a great piece of work by the French, and an opportunity now. Goblet, the experienced Jean-Baptiste Goblet, takes it forward. Amri and Lepia comes out. The referee's not happy with that, and holding on actually, and so the French have blundered on that occasion. Quentin Lespiac, and there's a golden opportunity there to take advantage, Evan.
Absolutely. There's a fair bit of niggle in this game as well, all the way through. So I think the side that calms down the first, decides to start playing some rugby, will go away with this quite quickly. But yeah.
The most artistic try of the tournament, but he's not got it down in time. What a fantastic piece of work by Ewan Perrault. Fabulous run, dart out of defence, beautiful kick, and then but for a very heavy touch. And the kick ahead off the shin just took it far.
Ooh, and
I wonder, that looked as if that was, we could slow that one down, and I think that was a try.
yeah, we could, and the referee agrees with you. And at the moment, the French development team.
Well, that's a great decision there by Ralph Mbema, who is the touch judge behind the poles, and Van Rensen, Jacob Van Rensen of South Africa. So the officials get that one spot on, and then they're only having seen that in real time.
That's
but
right.
A fabulous piece of work by Ewan Perrault.
It's fantastic, the French development side. Once again, they forgot about all the niggle. They started playing rugby. It was a beautiful side kick that set that up, and off they go.
But now, a great tackle back there. Lost the kick-off. Pressure being put on again. The Samurai not being able to settle into their game. Amory over the ball. Looks as if he's made a steal. Fantastic steal by the Frenchman, but it looks as if it's been stolen back. And the French just seem to be getting warmer and better, and they seem to be just improving with every game. This side, though, probably stacked full of players who are used to playing sevens, and more of the sevens development squad as opposed to a 15 or a 10 development squad. But Samurai trailing and at this point struggling. And that all came about when we look back at it with a break, a kick ahead, a fabulous kick ahead by Walsh, who took a lot of territory. There's Fidendi, who has given tremendous power as a prop in the scrum, but is actually like a centre in the Bastardot mould. He's powerful, and he's been strong, and he's landed at the bottom of a bit of a nasty ruck here. All good though. And the niggle does seem to have quietened down. It's a big, strong pack that the Samurai have, but perhaps what it is it's a big, tall pack as opposed to a small, powerful pack. And certainly the French scrum was very strong against the Pyrenees. They were strong against the Scottish Exiles, and they've put a bit of pressure on there. There was a gap. He dances to one side, he dances to the second one. That's the figure of Gavin Dacey, one of the leaders of the side. And a drive, and that could be stripped by Michael Fado, leading with the ball and nearly getting it stripped. Good little burst through a little hole there. Good tackle by Fidendi. And there's Walsh. Now, massive fend, knocking the figure of Leo Girard back on his heels. Walsh sends a man through that little gap there. That's James Turner with the ball, and I think we're going to have to see something here. The referee, no, he's satisfied, just a penalty. But Damien Hudd was in close proximity, and I think it's an injury. Or substitutions. So Samurai, 8 minutes into this, you would have said they were hot favourites on this, but on form thus far, they look as if they are struggling to get into this game.
Yeah, I agree completely. They just seem to be struggling to get anywhere. They're all scrappy football. The French development side, though, they seem to be sort of coming together again. This next passage of play will be quite interesting to see how Samurai go and see what the defence of the French is like.
So up goes Fado, wins that. Rolling maul towards the line, it's gone down, but it's another drive going on. George Graham popped out the side over, and a try. Yes, another try from Michael Fado, and Samurai have pulled one back, and they're in the drive over, and it looks like a try.
Yeah, it
looks like a try, and the referee's given it a try, and so we have the prospect of Jack Walsh putting the Samurai in front in a half. As you said, correctly forecast, Evans, they may not have been in this one, they've not been able to settle down, but they got upfield and they've managed to sort of score and roll over, and it's a poor conversion. It's low and it's under the bar and to the left of the posts. So we have a 5v5 match here, and a lot to play for yet. So this will have stung the French, and it'll be a matter of how they respond to this kickoff. We have 2 minutes left, and both sides will be keen to go in with a lead before half-time. There's Amory, takes it down well and evades a couple of challenges. Off the side here, good little powerful drive there by Johan Hachmer. Having to work very hard to retain the possession. Here's Fidendi, who hands off one, shows great leg drive and power. There's Amory, a willing supporter, and here is the fabulous Perrault, Ewan Perrault, running strongly once again. Looks like it might have been stolen. No, the referee judges no release, and Perrault will go again. This time into the midfield, little drive by Gerard, switch, opportunity, and down the middle, and it's a score under the post. Johan Hecker, and a fantastic bit of play by the French development squad.
Yeah, I think this is where the French are now just starting to, as I said earlier on, get their act together. That was a great little punch through there, great little pass, and just basically put it straight in under the post there to take the momentum with France as we're approaching the halfway mark of this plate final here.
So an assist for Julien Soubade, the scrum half, who's been very, very busy. Run a great line and then created a fantastic opening for Johan Hamscher and the French development squad with a 12-5 lead, and we'll be very pleased with that going in at half-time. It's a very, very high one, gives armour, and it's a really good pick up there by the big figure of James Turner. Took it high in the air, but it's a messy ruck, and it's been kicked behind the lines, and it's going to drop straight square on Jack Walsh's legs there, and he has to work hard to get that. Moves it across, good pace though, out wide, and that looks like the figure of Sam Moynihan, showing a lot of pace. The French development side have covered across there, and very ambitious. Sam Moynihan trying to run his way out, and that could have been a sticky moment for Samurai.
Yeah, it could have been. Time's kicking down. Here they go.
It's a kick and go. It's bounced favourably, and Goblet is still dragging down that figure of that's James Redden with the bandage round the head. Through the hands is good though, and there's an opportunity now. Driving out wide here. It's Vernon Fredericks made the run. James Turner's in the mix there. The counter rucking by Amory is unsuccessful. Little run but wrap behind there, and Redden takes on Fidendi, who's big and strong and doesn't release, but the referee's happy with that. And George Graham pulled down out wide. Moynihan comes back in for Hudd. Damien Hudd charging down, big figure. And now we're going to apologies to any listeners on YouTube or Now TV, but we now have the bagpipes playing just right in front of the commentary box, which is not going to do very well for the sound systems. Fantastic atmosphere here at the GFI Hong Kong Tens. It is half-time, and the French development side have a 12-5 lead over the Samurai, and we have got bagpipe music to keep you warm at half-time.
That's right. Yeah, that was certainly an interesting game. I think the Samurai are sort of suffering a little bit from playing only 2 hours ago. It started off as very, very scrappy rugby. That the development side were the first to settle down. They've gone ahead with 2 quick tries, and they've certainly taken the momentum into the second half. While the Samurais right now, I'll be talking to each other and just saying, look, we've got to calm down and play. As we're watching the replay there, that was that great little try that sort of had the French just in the corner there. What a fantastic touchdown that was, awarded by the referee and quite correctly by the replay. Passing out to the Samurai, nice little bit of place there.
Over.
Push over try, so just a little chuck over try, sort of put the momentum back on the Samurai. And here's this French development squad, great little open try, passes back and straight through and under the post, which about a minute from the end, which took the French development side into half-time with everything there. And there they are. A fantastic little
and
rendition.
There we go. The Scottish Exiles and one of the Scottish Sevens players, Jamie, who is clearly an accomplished piper, and doubtless we'll be hearing him at the Sevens over the course of the weekend. Samurai, though, have a challenge on their hands. They've probably fancied themselves for the cup final, but they find themselves in the plate final, and that's the figure of James Cordy Redden. Will be one of the players charged with the responsibility for bringing the Samurai back into this match. There is a picture of Leo Girard and Leo Walsh, who's been the dynamo, the pivot and director of how the Samurai has played, and it's for him. It's a long kick, it's overly long, and it makes it nice and easy for Amory, and Fidendi loses it and almost got it back again, but he loses it forward, and a bit of sloppy handling by the French development squad. They'll be disappointed with that from the kick-off. Yeah, that's not the start that they wanted. They wanted a nice clean break. If he just held on to that, I think he would have charged through that Samurai defence there. But here we are anyway, sort of a good 35 metres out from the try line, packing it down for a scrum. Samurai feed. See what happens here with this scrum in the first half. So Moynihan puts it in at the back, manages to sweep it up. Walsh. Redden charges in. Crash ball. Amory has to roll away. It's quick ball, but Walsh is slow in distributing, and Samurai have to do a lot of work. Neck tackle. Looked as if it was a short swinging tackle, but Jack Walsh very small, tough to tackle him, too low. And on this occasion we've got Julien Biziat, who's penalised, and the referee is offside decision made, and a little step through the middle there. But it's the big figure of Jean-Baptiste Goblet, who's been very influential as well, the veteran of this side. And the ball's come out the other side, and an opportunity now, and that's Gillard has picked it up. Goblet protecting it, the counter ruck in from the side surely, and the referee side entry on that occasion, James Turner, and perhaps fortunate he didn't get a yellow card for that one. Looked a deliberate moment. Yeah, I think very lucky actually. So we have still another 11 minutes or so. And it's a kick for touch. I think this will be an interesting passage of play. See how the French go from here. They wanted a better start than this. Certainly Samurai have it all against them. They've got to score at least twice to be in the hunt. But French put in, and see how this line out goes. It's a Quentin Lespiard, and that's he's overthrown that, and it's given a great opportunity to Michael Fado in the open field. Brought down, Walsh again, trying to punch a hole through the centre. The defence has been solid. Amory and his teammate Goblet been rocks in there, but it's gone out wide. Opportunity now. It's very close to the touchline, and inevitably the French drive Samurai into touch, and Subadi looks to take a quick one. So line out to the French development side. And an important moment, this one. Amory does well up to get it out. It is delivered now, and again another drive comes back in towards the traffic, and it's Goblet, the veteran, takes it up to the 22. The French playing good, controlled rugby here. Little run across by Max Blanc, who almost got pickpocketed. Another good drive here, but Gillard likely to go into play. No, they've kept it going. Goblet, and it's dropped, and there's a knock-on definitely there. It's just a matter of whether there was play on. Referee stopping that one quite early. But the French working hard to take the ball out under control, not taking risks, not taking territory, and thus far it's frustrated the Samurai.
No, it has. This is actually quite a frustrating part of play on both sides of it. The French looking pretty good there. They're just on the cusp of breaking through, but not being able to get there.
And again, a big French scrum they've definitely, and chipped back towards Reddin by Walsh. The tackle's light by Blanc. He falls off that one, comes back and repeats it. And 12 was Paul Abargero. The standoff, and the French penalised now, and this is an opportunity for Samurai. Kick to the corner, and now an attacking play inside the French 22. And it's at this point players such as Ben Hartman, the standoff, can he create something here?
Well, with 7 minutes to go, Samurai really have to start stepping up now, and they need this passage of play to work for them, to put another try and a converted try hopefully on board.
And the rolling maul's going well. They're trying to suck them in. It's a really good drive. At the back of it, it's Fado. Fado on the edge there. He's looking to spin it around a little bit. It's gone back another player. And the referee decides it was going nowhere. It's going round and it's taken too long. And Samurai frustrated.
And the referee's marching them another 10 back too. So Fetch development squad off to a very quick start, but no. Brought back again.
Well, interesting. If it was in French, well, it probably wasn't in French, was it? It was a Samurai word, so I'm sure he understood it.
Yeah, exactly.
But this is a type of pressure relieving situation. A penalty and then the extra 10 yards. And the French development squad, another set of debutantes. We've had debutantes with the Allied Worlds, ex-services exiles taking the Shield Trophy, and now we are looking here at the potential for the plate being taken by another debutant, the French development squad. Brilliant run here by Jean-Charles Fridendi, who has been one of the more prominent and visible players, along with Amory and Goblet, the 3 stars of this side, and they've snagged the scrum half. The referee's quite happy about it, and so the ruck reformed and working really hard, protecting the ball. 7 is Goblet, who gives it to Max Blanc. He looks like he could be isolated here. It's out the back. And it's the low drop kicking Paul Alabageo, who scored a fantastic try earlier in the tournament. But the French are under a lot of pressure and shipping the ball around, but they've made some space and now taking some territory here. Great driving run by Julien Béziat. That ball looks as if it's gone forward. The referee had one in his ear and he's been given the confirmation it's gone back. And here's a run now. Inside is Delmas, and Delmas looks as if he's going to get under the posts. And a try for the French development squad. Good interplay by Jean Hameker and the figure of Rona Delmas. There we go, Hackmer's ball inside, and then it's just pace, although a desperately weak challenge there by Walsh as he passed, and that gives the French development side a 19-5 lead, and it's certainly not going to the form book, this one.
No, it's not going to the formula at all, and the only thing, as I said leading into it, I thought maybe the amount of games that Samurai played in the last couple of hours before we started the final might have impacted. I think that's certainly been the case. It's been a bit scrappy though on behalf of both sides, but certainly the French started playing rugby a little bit earlier than Samurai did, and I think with 2 tries converted just to level, they need to score 3 times, Samurai, to go away in the next 3.5 minutes. It's starting to get a little bit ahead of them.
So Samurai, a penalty there, and Hartman takes them upfield. Still plenty of time in this though, 3 minutes, and tries can be scored very quickly. Gillard, hands in the ruck there. The referee, I think, looked as if he might go to the pocket there. But Hartman kicks it long, and spectacular effort to keep it in, and it's been judged to have been, well, it looked for a moment as if the referee was waving that on.
Yeah, from over here anyway, it looked like he was able to flick it back and keep it in. Will you see if the replay is there for that one?
That would be interesting. It would have been a really good one to keep in. Pressure on now. Hartman. Drive through by Dacey. It's the French competing, counter-rucking, not making it easy. And there's Amaro Caro, the speedster we've not seen the whole tournament. Had a disappointing tournament overall. Really not being used to his full potential. Great counter-rucking. And if that wasn't a hand on the ground, what was?
Yeah, exactly.
Rather foolish, really.
Certainly with only a couple of minutes to go, but...
And there's Goblet, who has been a tower of strength in defence. And a little gap through the hole, there they go. Moynihan, and now it's ball in hand. And a bit of a couple of big collisions there. Cameron Dolan, and there's Goblet kicking upfield, and that looks as if it's just going to edge into touch. And probably the happiest kick ahead Jean-Baptiste Goblet has ever made in his career. Absolutely fabulous kick, and defensively it does look as if the French development squad are perhaps just that bit fitter.
Yeah, I think it is. As I said, it's probably the amount of games they play, but they just look a little bit more sharper, and that they wanted a little bit more as we approach sort of the last minute mark of this plate final here at the GFI Hong Kong Football Club Tens. Samurai about to put in feed for the line out. Goes to the back. They win it.
There's Hutt driving forward, but it's all getting a little bit too long and too late. 55 seconds left. I think we can safely say that the French development squad, debutants in this tournament, and they're going to go walk away with the plate.
Well, there's a few invites on barbecues being issued out of the ground at the moment.
So, in no hurry, and outstanding players for the French development side. Jean-Baptiste Goblet, who's done so much. Perrault's been strong. Fidendi has been involved throughout every match, and there's been other stars in amongst there. Alex Armory has been a tremendous forward. It's been a very good French development side's performance. And there's Goblet taking the scrum half roll, picking off the back of the scrum. Fidendi in there, driving over. And Subadi, a little bit of a missed kick. And a penalty.
Oh, here we...
It's turned into, it's got a little bit feisty, and it's there's punches being thrown around. Oh, there's somebody being felled on that one. In fact, someone has been felled truly on that one. That has gone completely out of control. We don't like to see these figures, and there's no doubt that someone, I think, from the French development side here might be going off for this punch. A punch who's knocked down, and I think it's Moynihan. And here we go, we'll probably see it here. It starts the arguments, but this is not the main punch. Okay, there was hands up there, but we see here someone else coming in, and then it's at this point. Ooh, oh, and that was Hartman coming in, and I think Hartman was then the one that got struck. And so Hartman came in strongly, then was then struck by one of the Frenchmen, and it's nasty scenes here, and I think there's no doubt there's going to be red cards here. There might also be a very nasty injury to what I think is Ben Hartman. But Hartman really had himself to blame for steaming into that, and I think a rerun on that suggests that he certainly created some of the problems there. So the stretcher doesn't look as if it's required. There's virtually every touch judge now actually on the field, giving their opinions on it. They might even buzz me up and ask if they want what I saw on the TV screen.
You never know, but it's an unfortunate way to end that match. It started off with a fair bit of niggle, and unfortunately ended that way as well, as we're
so there is Hartman being carried off rather groggy, got a really good hook, and but he shouldn't have dived, he shouldn't have come running in and launched himself into that area. So I have a limited sympathy. When you get involved in that sort of thing, you've got to take some of the, but it's inappropriate for punches, but inappropriate for any of what went on there. Yeah. And the referee Van Rensen is uncertain exactly who. There's definitely going to be a Frenchman with a red card. It seems inevitable, but there's not a consensus, and I think we're going to see both red and Samurai, the two captains, being drawn across, I think. And well, it's not clear exactly who's going to be here. It seems as if Gavin Dacey has been judged to have been involved in something.
Yeah, looks like it.
So Dacey, and they're looking for, but to be honest, even on the TV screens, we haven't really seen who exactly. I think the one player, Omar Caro, who was pointing, and I think he was the one player that could identify, and Caro was standing there at the back. It certainly wasn't Fidendi. He seemed to be struck himself. And Dewey Rollins is back on again, and I think there's a lot of uncertainty here, and I think the game's over, and looks like someone's gotten he's got a red card. Fidendi's got a red card as well, and that's that might have been for a separate altercation that went on early on, and I think Fidendi came out worst on that one. But I don't think we've got the culprit who was responsible for. Oh, it looks. And there's Caro got sent off, who wasn't involved. So that's mistaken identity if it is Caro that's going off. So we have a situation where it looks as if two Samurai sent off, one carried off the field virtually. And I think the referee should be just looking to blow this up, and yeah, because the next engagement here could be incendiary.
It could be. The amount of talk that's still going on out there at the moment.
Fidendi was an innocent party. I didn't see that one. There was certainly a Frenchman who gave a hook to one of the Samurai, and it's all ended in a rather sour fashion. But congratulations and well done to the French development squad, who have shown tremendous skill.